dating, especially if you're a man, is absolutely a numbers game, okay? And I want to share with you in this video how you can use that to your advantage, right? And how you can have the numbers work together in your favor so you could have success in your dating life. And it's something that, you know, I've analyzed and I've tried to talk about it and think how valid it was and whatnot, but there's no way around it. Dating is a numbers game, okay? And I'll give you some stories and some examples, and like I said, how you can use this to your advantage. So the first one is, you know, I talk to a lot of students, and when we're on a boot camp or a weekend program, sure, they're going to do the approaches, take the action. I'm there to watch them, right? But some students, if I'm doing a phone coaching, or if I'm talking to them online or in a group or something like that, they'll ask questions, and I could tell that just by the questions they're asking, they don't have enough numbers to make things work, okay? And I'll break the whole funnel down for you in a minute here about how the numbers work and why they're so important for you as a man to pay attention to. But, you know, I will say, I remember I had one student last year, and he wanted to find a girlfriend, okay? And I've had a lot of students that find girlfriends. I have a student's wedding I'm actually going to next week, which is awesome. You know, people have been able to help and enrich their lives. And I told him, I said, look, we're talking, and I'm giving you the game plan, and he wasn't executing it fully, right? At that point, it was still early on. And I told him, I said, look, if I wanted to find a girlfriend, if I want to find one special girl that I want to be exclusive with and I really like, I said, you better believe that if she's a specific type of girl that I want, I'm going to have to meet thousands, okay, to find that one I really like. And I'll tell you what, I've met many women, okay, throughout the years of doing this, not only lots of approaches and interactions and everything else, and I've met a lot of women, and you know, there's only been a small handful of ones that I really deeply connected with, okay, ones that I wound up seeing for a while, or a few were girlfriends and things like that. There's only been a handful of those, okay, amongst all the ones that I've met. And it doesn't mean that the other ones didn't have potential. They weren't great too, right? Maybe I didn't get to know them right, or something like that, or the situation wasn't right. There could have been some hang-ups on either end. That's totally fine. But you have to go through all that to find someone who is special, okay? You have to have a funnel, okay? We talk about this in sales, okay, in business. If you want to have clients and people who, you know, who buy your service, you have to get a lot of leads. And then out of those leads, you have to qualify those and then put them through a process, and some are going to buy and some aren't. And the ones that buy, they become the customers, and the ones that don't, it doesn't wind up working out. But you're going to get a lot of leads, and then the customers are going to be very small at the bottom. That's why they use this funnel analogy. So let me break down the funnel for you as a single man for dating. Now, let's say you're using dating apps, okay? And let's say, I'm not the dating app guy, but let's say you're using dating apps and you're not the best looking guy in the world. And let's say, like I've mentioned in my other video, you're not in a great place of meeting women. So you may have to spend hours swiping. That's the first top of the funnel, hours swiping. Then from there, then you have matches, right? And then let's say after swiping for a month, you get 20 matches. Okay, I think that's a realistic number, right? If you're swiping selectively, let's say you swipe, well, let's use bigger numbers, okay? Let's say you're swiping right on every girl you talk to. I know some guys do that. It's just crazy. Let's say you swipe right on every girl that you see and do that for a while, and you get 50 matches in a month or something. So you have 50 matches. So swiping's the top of the funnel, then 50 matches. Then from the 50 matches, you have to send 50 messages, right? And you message 50 girls. Now, out of those 50 messages, you know for damn sure that not every one of those is going to respond. It's probably, I don't know the numbers, but it's probably a very low response rate. Let's say it's 10% or 20%. Let's say 20%, which is probably a good number. So out of 20% that write you back, now you're down to 10 girls, okay? You just went from swiping on thousands to 50 matches to 20% messaging you back after your first message, down to now 10 girls. You know what, let's up these numbers. Let's start again. Swiping, you get 100 matches. Then from 100 matches, you send 100 messages, and now you have 20%. You have 20 girls that write you back. Now, out of those 20 girls that you're messaging, which I know from my experience on dating apps, oh my gosh, 80 or 90% of the girls eventually just ghost and just stop writing you back. They're on to the next match or something like that. But let's be real conservative and say, out of those 20 girls, 10 of those are actually writing you back, okay? Which is unheard of. That's not going to happen. But let's say 10 of those girls are actually writing you back. So now for all your time spent, you have 10 girls that you're messaging. Now, I know for sure messaging is one thing, but meeting in person is another thing. Let's give you, that's even less of a percentage, but let's say you get 50%. So you get 5 of those girls, okay? Let's say you get 5 of those girls to actually meet you in person, which out of 100 matches, you get 5 girls to meet you in person, something like that. Now, what I know from being on dates with these girls that I met off the apps that I don't really know that well, man, there's a high chance that all 5 of those you don't even really like that much. You know, you maybe you wind up hooking up with 1 or 2 or something like that, but I've had a lot of these where like there's no chemistry there, or, you know, God forbid the person doesn't look like their pictures, or there's nothing there. I mean, you're down to such a little small percentage. Like, you're lucky if one person sticks around after 100 matches and all that swiping. This is why I hate online dating if you're not a super good looking guy. But as you can see, this is a numbers game, man. Like, you're going to have to swipe 10 times more or improve your profile or something like that. So that's just one thing, man. And that's the whole thing. Now, let's say you're going out and meeting women in person, which I really advocate, okay? And depending on the venue, you'll have to do more or less approaches. But if the venue's a little higher energy, then you're going to have to do a lot of approaches. You may have to do 20 approaches. Out of 20 approaches, 10 of them want nothing to do with you off the bat. The other 10 you wind up having conversations with. Some of them are taken, some of them there's nothing there. Let's say there's 5 of them that go well. You could get numbers from 5 of those girls, and just from 20 approaches in 1 or 2 hours out, dude, you could leave with 5 numbers, and that's way more efficient than all that swiping. So that's why I like this much more. These numbers are much more efficient. And out of those 5 numbers, those are going to be a lot more solid. So you may get 3 to 5 dates out of those numbers. So you could line up 3 to 5 dates from one night out approaching versus a month of swiping on the apps. I actually didn't think of this ahead of time, but this math actually worked out really well. And this is actually pretty accurate math, because I've realized that I've had the dating apps for a month before, and I maybe lined up 3 to 5 dates or something with girls I was actually kind of excited about, and then a lot of them didn't wind up going anywhere, where I could definitely have a good night out of cold approaching with 20 approaches or more. And like, I was out Friday night, and I didn't do 20 approaches, I did a lot less, but I definitely had 2 numbers that were pretty good, and I could have lined up dates with. I wasn't really super into the girls, so I didn't want to following up. But, you know, you can, that's why, like I said, I advocate going out and approaching women so much. You can leave with numbers and get dates, but the thing is, I'm saying numbers, this is all a numbers game, man. You can watch the videos, you can read the books, you can take the notes, you can do all of this stuff. But if you're not putting in the numbers, you are not going to get the results. Plain and simple, man. You want to start a business, you can make a killer website. You can have a great product and a perfect offer. But if you don't have the traffic, if you don't have that top end of the funnel coming in, you don't have the numbers coming to your site, ready to be talked to and qualified and screened to be sold, to become customers, you're never going to be successful. And I want you to know this in your dating life as well. I meet lots of women, and I love meeting them through approaching, because when you approach a woman in person and you have a conversation, that's pretty much like, here's the thing, you can't even compare those dates off a cold approach to the dates off of online dating, because online dating, you're meeting that person for the first time, right? Where if you get a date off a cold approach, you're meeting that person for the second time. Okay, don't forget that. You meet that person for the second time face to face now, which is way more powerful now that you've done some of the work. And I encourage guys to do as much of the work as possible on that first approach. Even if you can do all the work on that first approach in person, you should, so that, you know, the second date is you know, you guys already get along and things are good. So you can't even compare online dating to approaching. So when you approach and go out in person and shake someone's hand and talk, you can see if there's chemistry there right away. You can see if you get along, yes or no. So you can make that decision on whether you guys are going to get along in the moment. Versus online dating, you got to do the swiping, the matching, the messaging, the setting up the dates. So what I'm saying, And the point of this video is dating is a numbers game, okay? And don't let people look at it and say, oh, it's very easy. People say, oh, well, that's messed up. You're a player or something like that. So they'll think it's like immoral or unjust to approach a lot of women or date a lot, and oh, that's bad or whatever. How is that bad in any way? You're not a player. You're not an asshole. You're looking for somebody that you connect with and you get along with. So you have to talk to people and you have to be active. Look, if you're a man nowadays, okay, especially if you're in North America and you want to meet a woman, you got to take a lot of action, dude. This perfect girl isn't going to show up. It's nice when a friend introduces you to a girl. It's nice when you have a social circle. That's happened to me less than 5 times in my life, dude. Like, it's nice when that happens. I have a great social circle, but people aren't going to throw girls at you. You have to take a ton of action. It's a numbers game. So if you have a question and wondering why you're not getting the results that you want, you're not meeting the quality of women you want, you're not meeting that girlfriend, you're not meeting somebody special, you have to go back and analyze the numbers, okay? You have to go back and analyze the numbers. Are you approaching women? Are you getting women into the funnel? Are you screening women out, whether they're good or not? Are you now taking them on dates and getting to know them and see if they mesh with your lifestyle? You have to meet a lot of people to find people you really like. I have a core group of friends, okay? I have a list in my phone of really good friends that it's called Hit Up, and I hit these people up to stay in touch with them, really good friends. Let's say there's 30, 40 or so, maybe more people on the thing. But those are 30 or 40, and even closer than that, I have really close friends and people I talk to very regularly. And even that list is a small list of people. And think about the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, whatever people I've shaked their hand and met in my life. But out of all that, I only have that small core group of people that I resonate with, that I like. It's not to say the other people were bad or whatever. It's just that these are the people that I was drawn to, that I had the chemistry with, that became part of my life. It was that very small group of people. But that small group of people came from the tens of thousands of people that I've met. So just like meeting a great friend or something, meeting a woman and dating, it is absolutely a numbers game. And I don't want you to feel guilty about it or feel like you're being a player or it's wrong or what. It's not at all. Go out and approach, and don't look at things as getting rejected. Don't look at it as, oh, I feel creepy hitting on girls or whatever. Be cool. I don't teach a creepy approach, man. Watch my videos. My stuff is not creepy. It's authentic, attracting women authentically. Going out at night and say, hi, I'm Joe. I'm being social tonight. Or, hey, I wanted to meet you. What's your name? Okay, cool. You guys local or visiting. All right, yeah, I love this city. This cool. What I love about it is bam, bam, bam. Having a cool conversation, then maybe throwing a little flirting in there and teasing her a bit. Oh, you look like you're from Alaska. You look like you're sweating to death in this weather because it's too hot from here. Whatever, right? It's not weird. It's not creepy, man. And you're seeing if someone has a sense of humor. You're seeing if you could have a good conversation with this person. You're seeing if this is somebody that you want to spend some time with. But you have to put in the numbers to find that person. If you're not putting in the numbers and you're wondering why you're not having results, that's it, man. That's like wondering why you don't have abs and not showing up to the gym, right? That's like wondering why you're not getting in shape but not eating the food that you need to, and doing that consistently over and over and over again, man. Look, there's no way around it. Put the numbers in, and don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Own it. You're a man. When you want something in your life, okay, if you want to find a great friend, you got to meet a lot of people and find someone that you click with. No ego, no pride, nothing, man. Put yourself out there, play the numbers, go for what you want, and you will, like that funnel, you'll sift down, and at the bottom of that sifter and at the bottom of the funnel, all you'll have left are the quality, the golden people, and the stuff that you want in your life, man. So embrace the numbers and make it happen in your life.